the first show in the States with Kyle. What is the plan? Are you gonna play this, kind of lay low for a little bit? Because it's been a while. Extortion Field came out in July, October, beginning of October, end of September, over in Europe and everything.
And then we chill through the winter because we hate cold weather. So.
Yeah, at least it's beautiful here today.
Yeah, right. The only reason we're even out in this cold weather is for Scott Davidson. It's his birthday party, and he's such a good friend and a great supporter of ours. We had to do it.
Thank you, Scott. Happy birthday too.
Yeah. But yeah, we have plans, as you know, to come out in the summertime and do an East Coast run, and then we want to do a West Coast run, and then we also have 2 scheduled tours for Europe in late summer, fall. So we're gonna do like 4 runs this year that we're aware of as of now. They're not gonna be long, great, extensive tours. We're gonna do like a week to 10 days each time, and try to hit the major cities and the major markets, and we'll go from there. That's basically it.
That's the way we have to do it these days.
Absolutely. Is there any truth to the rumor that's been floating around that you guys are going to hop out down at some point this year, maybe next year?
That's
He's got a connection, you know that.
Actually, I talked to them the other day, and they're going to go out with Black Label Society first, and then late in the summer or fall, we may be able to hook up. But the original plans to go out in the early summer with them didn't really happen. So we're working on it. That's all I can say. Both bands really want to make it happen. It's just a matter of the logistics and timing.
But that's an open-ended invitation that will come to fruition at some point.
Absolutely. And that'd be a killer too, man. So
Sure.
and it's got to be special for you too. I mean,
It's my friends,
oh yeah, that's family and all that. And that. So, how was the reaction in Barcelona for you guys?
It was good. They really were ready for it. That's for sure. The people were saying this could be. The people that put that show together were absolutely some of the best people I've ever done a show with. They were very accommodating, very friendly. Barcelona's beautiful too. It's a town full of good people.
Obviously, you're playing some of the old stuff, and we've talked, and you're a Big Trouble fan too. What's the favorite old stuff that you get to sing? And like, oh shit, I get to sing this song. It's awesome.
Wow, that's kind of tough, man.
All of them is an acceptable answer too, because we wrote a set list for the show. You'd be playing your entire self-titled album, all of Manic Frustration, and all of Plastic Green.
I'd have to say that
Some of Psalm 9 too.
Yeah, something, The Tempter.
some of the ones that I didn't think would be my favorite ended up, like when we did Revelations in Europe, in Barcelona. I thought that song really translated well for our live show. Every time I have posted a video for that, people are like, wow. There's a favorite right there. I really enjoy playing that. Flowers.
We said on the way down, we said, dude, what do you think? I'll play Flowers? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, you should just play the whole album. It makes sense. If you can't pick one, just play the whole album. So, and we are more excited. We drove from Cleveland. We drove like 6 hours?
It was like 16 hours through the snow, so you should really let us do the set.
And the only thing that we could say was, dude, I can't wait to hear Kyle sing the old stuff, man. I can't wait like little kids on Christmas, I can't wait to hear Kyle sing the old stuff.
It's something I look forward to as much as singing my own songs. As a fan, it's just a dream come true for me.
Has it hit you that you're in trouble yet? Has it really sunk in?
This time around, it was a lot more of a fanboy type thing for me when we jammed together for the first time in the 90s. But this time around, it's still very exciting, but I know these guys, it's a lot more comfortable and friendly and relaxed, and really just business as usual. Right?
That's cool. And it is a shoot, and it's good that you guys are back out and we talk like we're going for so long, including Plastic Green hit and Simple Mind Condition. There's a lot of time that had passed, and I don't even know, is Simple Mind Condition even out in America yet still? Are you still getting it on import? I mean,
Oh, it was here at one point.
Yeah, eventually came out like 2 years later.
right, because I mean, we were running around like in riots and looting places, like beating the shit out of everybody that had the album, you know, to get it, because we could only get it on import and all that stuff. So are things going to speed up now? Like the Distortion Field's been out for a while. Obviously, the tour. So are you going to just tour on that and kind of?
Well, I think it's going to go a little bit quicker than it has in the past because I think we're really happy with the lineup. We're really excited. Kyle is part of Trouble. He fits in, gets in. It's an easy transition, and it's exciting for us as well. You know what I mean? It's refreshing and new for us again. So I don't think it's going to take quite that long for us to get to work on another record, to tell you the truth. Well, maybe not in normal terms, but for Trouble terms, it'll probably be a little bit quicker than our usual.
Those periods you were talking about too. I mean, in between Plastic Greenhead and Simple Mind Condition, the band was actually not officially, but it was broken up for like 6 years.
Right.
You know, and then between Simple Mind Condition and Distortion Field, I mean, there was like numerous lineup changes. You know, still shopping a record deal. So, I mean, all that stuff comes into play. It wasn't just like we were writing and recording that whole time.
Right. So is it like a blessing in disguise now that didn't the drum tracks get lost or something? Some tracks got lost while you were doing it, and then you made the change, and you kind of got Kyle fell into your lap again, so to speak.
It actually did work out really well for us because you know, the timing ended up being much better for Kyle to come over and work with Trouble on a permanent basis at this time. Whereas when we first started recording, I don't know if his schedule allowed that, but you know, things happen in bands, and it just so happened to fall into place that he was available when we needed someone to sing on this record during the recording and completion of it, and the rest is history. It just worked out well for us.
Did you give Kyle any like limitations or parameters when you were sending in files and saying, you know, like, here's this, but don't kind of do this, or did you just say, dude, open a floodgate, so to speak?
I think maybe the only thing I said was think more blues than cliche metal, and other than that, I don't think we told him anything.
No, he gets it. He got it, you know, and that was a real big deal for us. You know, when the first batch of songs came back, you know, we would send him music and he would sing on it and send it back to us, and me and Bruce were like, yeah, he gets it, man. It's, you know, we don't have to change anything. Just go to work and do your thing. And that's, you know, that's what a band like Trouble needs. You know, it's not getting someone to join us that has to learn it. It's someone that already knows it. And Kyle knows it.
Right. You could have called me too.
Yeah, well, you were next. You were next.
That's what I heard. I just wanted to make sure. You know, I kind of doesn't make
I
you
got
feel
your number in here.
When you guys first, you know, when Eric first split, and you guys were looking for a new vocalist, was it that Kyle was busy with Alabama Thunder Pussy and other stuff because he had sung with you in the '90s before? Right. Was that you wanted Kyle and Kyle was tied up?
Well, Bruce and I discussed our options at that point, and Kyle was number one on the list.
Right.
And when I called Kyle to feel him out about, you know, about the possibility of singing with Trouble, and he told me his schedule and all the projects he was involved with, it didn't seem logical that he'd be able to fit in the amount of time and effort that it would take to do the Trouble record. So we had to go with another choice at that point, which obviously didn't work out, but it got us to this point, and eventually he was available, and we made Distortion Field.
And thank God, and they say things happen for a reason,
Right.
and it's like all the stars aligned, and
That's how we look at it. Yeah. You know, it was meant to be delayed to get him in to do the vocals for this record.
right. And I'm sure Kyle will probably get on this too, being a fan of the band too. 30th anniversary of Songline is coming up.
Yes.
When you started doing this back in the day, did you say, man, 30 years from now when we'll be playing, did you ever think that the longevity would be there and that people would, I mean, because Trouble is, Trouble should be a much bigger band than I mean, there's a huge cult following.
Right.
But like in our eyes, Trouble is like the mountain top. You know, there's like Sabbath and Trouble.
Well, I mean, I remember very clearly, like, being at rehearsal in the early days, and Bruce, like, one of the comments he made was like, yeah, I'd be happy to just be able to play the club scene in Chicago, and you know,
That's an 18-year-old time.
right? Thursday round, you know, and it was like, yeah, that'd be really cool, you know. So, No, it's awesome that we were able to last this long, and more importantly, still love what we're doing and like the music we're creating. You know what I mean? If we didn't like it, I don't think we could do it. At this stage, because it takes a little bit more effort and time. It's more time consuming, and we're more mature and we have lives other than just trouble at this point. So I think we're really fortunate, that we still have the same vision, as a band, and we're still able to write stuff we like.
And that's what's most important. Rick, where can people go to find out everything about Trouble? Tour dates, merchandise, all that good stuff.
newtrouble.com. That's our website, and then the Facebook site is Trouble Chicago. I remembered.
I get them confused too with the website,
Right.
Facebook. Thank God that MySpace isn't all still popular too. So you go. And I think it's cool.
Social media.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta always have your phone on. And I think it's cool too that it's like, we were talking to Marco, and he's like, I said, was it a condition that you were a lefty to get to the band? And he's like, no, Barry taught me. And then it's like, when you talk to Ole has nothing but like praise for Barry and everything. So it's kind of nice too that it's all.
Too for making me learn some of them parts he came up with.
That's what Ole said too. He said, you might not hear it if you don't know what you're listening for. He's like, but it's some of the most complex stuff.
It was very
and Barry looks like he's just back there like without a care in the world, like he doesn't want to be there. And
They
he's
had,
just like,
they had two different styles. Ole was creative back then. Barry was like a natural.
right. And that's what Ole said too. He's like, dude, he smokes me. He's like, and I try to play. And then he'd have to teach me to play his parts. He's like, he goes, and I'd mess up his parts, and he'd yell at me. He's like, so it's cool how it's all kind of like full circle.
That's why I blame Ole too sometimes for those parts I have to learn from him too.
What are your expectations out of this tour? Are you ready to get out there and just show everybody? Are you catching?
Fat bank account.
That's how we roll too. Like we said, we're coming.
More than anything, for me, other than the thrill that I get out of playing it, I enjoy seeing people enjoying Trouble for what it is, and it's a staple of the music scene for the past couple of decades, 2 or 3 decades, and you have to be fair and give these guys their credit and their due, for sure. I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm just taking each day as it comes. It's a great ride, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
Awesome, and not kissing your ass too much. You are the exception to the rule. Not many bands can lose a singer that they've had for many years and get better, but you are the exception to the rule.
There are times when that's a hurdle for me. I've got, here's a band who's had a singer for the whole duration, except for the period of time in between albums, but it's surely I'm not putting myself in the same category as Ronnie James Dio, but it's a lot like the difference between Ozzy Year Sabbath and Dio Year Sabbath. It's going to be different, and it doesn't mean that it's not great. It's just different.
And anybody that doesn't tell you that Dio smokes Ozzy live then and now is full of shit. So it's another feather in your cap.
I mean, for real. Dio brought something different to Sabbath that they needed at the time.
Absolutely. So when you first got out there, not so much in Europe, but like, after the album came out, did you have to, like, were you finding yourself like defending, being like, because I know you're real humble, and you're like, man, I'm just a fan and everything, and anybody that gives you any shit, forward them to me because I'm like your personal complaint department.
Well,
so, and you Pit Radio will take care of all the detractors and naysayers.
You can get caught up in the warriors of the internet that feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof behind a keyboard, and they say ugly things, and they don't really matter because they're not going to like it because they made their mind up, which you've lost, not me.
Right.
There are people that I've spoken with when we played the shows in Europe, and they came up and were like, man, unbelievable. We had no idea what to expect, and then there were people out there that knew me and just figured, yeah, it's gonna be a smooth transition.
It's gonna kick ass.
Plenty of people came to tell me, man, we didn't know what to expect, and you did it.
I told you, and I'll tell you in front of Rick and Bruce, you saved the band. Not that the band needed saving, but I think the situation that they came through had to be heart-wrenching for them, trying to make an album, and, you know, like they said too, you get it, and you understand what Trouble's about, and you're a fan, and people hear it, when the sky comes down, my 4-year-old, I have to show you a video of my 4-year-old screaming when the sky comes down. It's hilarious, and he'll tell you too. But, I mean, you really did. You stepped up to the plate, man, and you gave a kick-ass record. And like I said, me and Michael have been staunch Trouble supporters for many, many years. We won't date ourselves, but when the change was made at first, before you came in, I was like, oh my God, this is the first time Trouble's coming to Cleveland, and I can't go. It's like blasphemy to say that. It's I can't go. I can't go. And he liked the other project where he's coming. I was like, I can't go. There's no. It's not a good fit. It's not a good fit. It'd be like with Lemmy going to sing with Trouble. It'd be like, yeah, it's fucking Lemmy, but with Trouble, I don't know about that, man. You know. So I think Kyle really stepped up to the plate, and it's like the new chapter of Trouble. And I hope that this is. The machine's just going now, and it's going to keep going and going and going, and we have many, many years.
Feels like it's just getting started.
That's good. That's
Like,
good.
no, we always had the other option. Mark can sing too.
Full double duty.
You know, wrecking ball.
There you go. Get one of those wireless mics.
I can
Right?
twerk it.
That'll work. Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you
We
guys.
appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
We love you guys. We're excited. Cannot wait to see the show. And I know that when the rest of the country gets to see it, they're gonna freak out and dig on it too, man. And like I said, Distortion Field was our #1 album of the year last year. And I told Phil that was, he was like, oh man, you're right. I was like, you came in 2, man. I was like, KT beat you out, man. He's
Phil
like,
came
no.
in 2?
I was like, no,
Nice.
he didn't. I'm like, yeah, dude, KT beat you out. He's like, man. He's like, I'm gonna have to talk with him. Man. I'm gonna have to talk with him.
Well, they can only steal so much from you, damn it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, he's doing this. He gave us Pantera a lot too, I mean, because he was heavily influenced, and he's just got to set up pipes, man. You guys made the right choice. Thank you.
It's an honor to be on stage and look over there and hear this guy, what he's doing up there. And it gives you more energy to give more to the crowd because you see what he's getting. You know what I mean? It's like having that all-star shortstop on your team that makes the rest of the team good. Kyle kind of does that with us. At least for me, it does.
I think that first song when you said that was the sky, right? First thing, here's the child. It was like a no-brainer, man.
Right?
Yeah, I was like the first one.
And you can't help, like, as soon as when the sky comes down, you hit that, and you're like, man, I can't wait. I'm sitting
We didn't think
down.
that was gonna, you know what? We didn't think that was gonna be as good as it was until we heard him singing on it. It was gonna be like, okay, and then he brought it.
I knew it the whole time.
Yeah,
He brought it to
I
like
knew it the
another
whole
level.
time.
cool. Well, we appreciate it, guys, and hopefully we get to see you in Cleveland too. And anything else you want to throw out for the fans?
We'll be coming.
I'm listening to In the Pit.
Be on the lookout.
That's right.
Right now.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Hey, Kent, do I got time to get us?